So I wanted to show you how my knockoff version of McCall 6363 works because it's not obvious, and I'm not quite sure I'm doing it right, or at least the way McCall 6363 says, because they don't give any instructions on wearing. They just have the one instruction sheet and they kind of skimped on that part. So first of all, you have your growth like this. It's a little strange. It's just a triangle of fabric. There's a seam right here that goes on along here on my right side, and the rest of this is built into the fabric, into the pattern. There are two ties, one on the outside here, as you can see, radiating out from where the seam is, and one on the inside, which I will show you in a moment. I'm wearing shorts. McCall actually wants you to put both ties on this side so that when you pull this over here and tie it, the knot is just right here. I put that on this side for two reasons. First, if you don't get your sway back exactly right, this tie along the back will tighten it up and make it perfect. And second of all, I find that when there's a heavy knot, it tends to start sagging throughout the day, and when you can't pull it tight and distribute the weight around your entire body, it really sags and it's hard to keep it looking nice instead of just being heavy and falling lower and lower. So this tie is pretty obvious, the tie that radiates out from the growth seam. This goes along the back. The inner tie is sewn to the side seam at the waist level, and so what you're going to do is actually pull it through the growth. You leave a hole at the end, which you hem. So pull it through the growth. Then you pull the growth over so that its seam runs along the belly. This is a little weird because you're bunching up all of the fabric in one space, but it actually surprisingly works. So then you take the other tie. I made my ties the same length, so I have to tie it in sort of a half bow, with this one having a loop and the other one not. So I just pull that all the way through, leave a loop there. That's good. So they're about the same length. Then you just arrange your fabric, fluff it, and it turns out actually looking great. So that's how you wear this. I've considered experimenting with this pattern a little, to have the growth go around the back like this, so that it's more of a classic wrap look. It's not the big wad of fabric. This one is too long. It goes all the way through the back. It distorts this side seam. It just would make things a little weird. So I've considered possibly splitting the way I did this, as you can see, is that I split the pattern at the waist, open it all the way up, and put in the extra fabric to make the growth. I think it might work to split the pattern, not at center front, but a little down from center front, a little over, at the waist seam, and then only add the extra fabric for the growth in here so that it's a little smaller. Something maybe to experiment with. But for now, I just think that this is dandy. It was surprisingly easy to make the pattern. It was really easy to put together the dress. I did the whole project in about 2 hours, maybe 2.5, and ended up with a really great dress for a Saturday night date.